Along this half of the third floor, we have our gallery of former premiers of Alberta. This gallery is set right in front of the Premier's office, which stretches off through the east wing of the building. These portraits are done as a way to commemorate a person's time as head of the provincial government. So traditionally, they aren't started until a person has finished their time in that role, however long that time may be. You can see in some of the more modern portraits that the premiers are able to personalize their paintings just a little bit. They're able to choose which artist does their portrait for them, and then they can communicate with the artist any symbols or elements that they would like to include. So how does a person become Premier of Alberta? Well, first you have to be made leader of a provincial political party, and then that party needs to win the most seats in the election. Of course, it's also important that a Premier run as an MLA in a specific constituency of Alberta. Although it's technically possible for a person to be Premier without being a member of the Legislative Assembly, it makes it very difficult to do the job when you're not able to sit in on the chamber during session. In Alberta, we don't set a maximum limit on how long a person is allowed to be in the role of Premier. Although we hold elections every 4 years or so, as long as a person maintains the confidence of their party and their party keeps winning the elections, sometimes a person can manage to stay Premier for a very long time. This is what happened with Premier Ernest Manning. He was in the role from 1943 to 1968. That's 25 years as head of the provincial government before he decided to step down. He also happened to be our youngest Premier when he was first elected. He was 34 years old. So that's part of why he had 2.5 decades to give to the position. Now that we've explored one of the elected positions within the legislature, we're going to move around to the other side of this floor and talk about one of the unelected or appointed positions within our democracy.